We're live. Hello, hello. Good evening, lovers. Thank you for joining me for tonight's bonus LoveFest Q&A. We'll have probably about half an hour together this evening, I expect, but then I suppose that's going to be dependent on whether you lot bring a bunch of juicy questions or not. So as you're joining, please do say hi. And if you're on the replay, just type in #replay. And even if you have a question and you're on the replay, type your question in and I will see, as long as you write #replay, I'll see your question and I'll respond to it over the next couple of days. Okay. So don't hold back just because the show is over and you're not here live. You can still ask me your questions. It's my pleasure to support and help. And your questions will predominantly be based on the work you've done in the playbooks this week during LoveFest, and anything that came up for you while doing that work, and anything that perhaps came up for you while attending one of my masterclasses this week. So we had 3 masterclasses, lots of content. It absolutely was designed to stir you up. My intention was to make you feel very uncomfortable, right? Because unless we get honest with where we have dissatisfaction, we're not motivated to create change, right? So this week has been very much about raising awareness. And I hope that felt like it was a loving experience, because I don't want to do it to hurt. I want to do it from a place of love. I want to help you see what you're ready to shift and change. Yeah. So I'm so glad to have you. I can see people are still arriving as you're joining. Please say hi. And if you're on the replay, please type #replay. Now, I have a couple of special guests with me this evening. And I'm just looking in the green room behind me. I can see them, but you can't see them. And I can see Karen and Sarah. And it looks like Karen's ready. Karen, give me some thumbs up. Are you good to go live? Yep. Okay. She's had a bit of technical issue getting on Wi-Fi. You know the deal. Oh, Kate's here. Hi, honey. So lovely to have you back. Yay. Now, those of you who are already here, if you have a question for me tonight, this is a Q&A session. If you have a question from the playbooks, from the masterclasses this week, or maybe you have a question about the Self-Love Essential Collection, which is the next step. So once we've wrapped up LoveFest, we're wrapping it up tonight. The next logical move forward would be to carry on by investing in the Self-Love Essential Collection. That's where you do the work. That's where you create the change. Remember, awareness is the first step to change. We've created awareness this week. All of the inclusions of the Self-Love Essential Collection will actually increase your awareness and then take your hand and guide you through the process of change. All right. If you've got any questions about any of that, start typing them in now so I can kind of gauge how much time I need for this live. I'm imagining we'll be here for about half an hour tonight. It's a short one. I'm not going to bang on for 90 minutes, 2 hours like I usually do. I just made a nice, beautiful log fire downstairs, and honestly, I'm looking forward to sitting in front of it. So I'm going to invite in my special guests, and I shall introduce them to you, and then I'll explain why they're here. Da-da, da-da. So I've invited Sarah and Karen in today. Now, this wasn't planned. I reached out, and they'll vouch for this. I reached out, I voice noted them both today. And hi, Anne. Anne is back. Nice to have you, honey. I reached out to both of them today. Actually, it was on the back of, I was reading some posts in our Love Lounge membership today. Remember, on the Self-Love Essential Collection, you get a month's membership in the Love Lounge. And of course, you can stay on if you'd like to. Oh, Rebecca's here too. Hello, Rebecca Shannon. Nice to have you.
Hello.
Hiya. And I was reading some chat in the Love Lounge. There's a lot of chat that goes on in there, right? And every single day in the lounge, I post an affirmation that's relevant to the monthly theme, and I post a self-inquiry question. And everybody kind of it's like perhaps a journaling response is being asked of you, and they just write their answers in the feed. Just to say, the reason why I do that is so that you can avoid transformational amnesia. Maybe I should ask these girls know what Sarah, do you want to say what transformational amnesia is?
I'm not sure I'll explain it as well as you, but
Oh,
I think it's where where you've been doing the inner work and you've been learning things, but then you kind of have moved on to other things and you then forget what you're trying to implement and were originally. So you have to kind of keep going back to it to, take it in, and gradually it
yeah,
trickles in and solidifies.
exactly. We forget what we've learned, right? I mean, so often without accountability, without a community of people who are kind of wanting to be on the path on a daily basis, it's so easy to lose track and kind of go off track and forget everything you learned. I mean, the truth is, when you create change, you change. I don't think you can really go backwards, but we do tend to forget. We wake up and the fear voices begin again, and we doubt, and we forget that we're not on our own, that we're connected to a loving universe, and all this stuff that we've learned. And then you just need that little prompt and it makes you go, oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
And I think also you find yourself in a whole new situation that is inviting you to employ those strategies that you learn again, if you like. So you might have applied them and done really well in one situation, but then the next situation comes and your brain almost wants to default to its old behaviors, but you're like trying to get it to go, no, actually, we've learned a whole new way of doing this. And so I think, new situations invite you to apply it again. So your reminders are superb because it just kind of keeps that trickling in the background so that when we face those new situations, we're like, oh yeah, hang on a minute, I know a new way here. I know a different way that I can respond and react to this situation.
Totally. And we're practicing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, everything we've been talking about this week in LoveFest, I think I've probably said on every masterclass, it's like, this is to be practiced.
Yeah.
This is a muscle to be strengthened. No one taught you how to do life this way. New habits need to be developed. It takes time. It takes practice. So being in a community of like-minded souls who are all practicing, who are all learning new skills, they're all learning a new way of living. So we don't want you in transformational amnesia, hence the Love Lounge. So before I go into the post that I read today that I'm actually going to share and probably make Karen blush, I'm going to share something I read, which is what prompted me to get you two on tonight. Who are these women? Let me just tell you who these women are. So Sarah was originally a client. You were doing my 5-day Meet Your Soulmate challenge, and I'm pretty sure that's how you came into my world.
I think it was. I know that I definitely joined the Love Lounge off the back of your New Year's Eve kind of, or the New Year kind of post about reviewing your past year and going into the new one. So I know that's when I definitely came into your actual membership, but I think I did, a Meet Your Soulmate possibly before that. But
So Sarah was in my world for a while. She's in the lounge, and there was just something about Sarah that grabbed my attention. And long story short, I invited her to come and be an ambassador on my Meet Your Soulmate challenge. And that has evolved because I'm about to run my 7th challenge, right? So where like some time has gone on, and you're now an ambassador in the challenge. And then now you are our community head of happiness in the Love Lounge, which you and I took some time to come up with that title. We're like, no, that title sounds too corporate.
And I think it was Carolyn that suggested it as well. I think it wasn't it? Yeah, you put it into the group and there were different suggestions, and then we kind of did that whole like, which one should we go for? But
we polled your job title. So you're now the community head of happiness, and you host 2 women's circles in the group every month called Happy Hour with Sarah. So the sisterhood and the community and that connection is really powerful. And Sarah very much leads the way with that. And Karen joined the Love Lounge. Now, Karen, when was it that you came in? I'm thinking, was it like April? Or has it been longer?
It was January.
Right. January this year. Okay. So the reason, by the way, so
No,
those
I think it was January.
January.
I think it was January.
So we've got a massive delay on the line here.
I think it was January.
I don't know that I've heard her. This could be very comical.
January?
This doesn't help, I don't think. I don't think she's hearing this on delay. I'm not sure how this is going to go down. All right, Karen, I'm going to speak. You're going to listen for a second. Oh, bless. So Karen, okay, came in January. And in something, she's getting it now. So she's only just hearing us. She's on like a minute delay. It's so funny.
I love her so much. Oh,
she's actually really comical. Oh, Sally's here. Hi, Sally. All right. So she joined in January, and then she invested in the Self-Love Essential Collection in around April. And the growth, she's thinking this is hilarious now, the growth that I have witnessed in Karen since she first arrived. I mean, just to say her being here.
Can you hear me?
I didn't know. I can say, yes, I can hear you, but she's not going to hear my answer.
Can you hear me?
Oh, darn it.
I don't know what's going on. I wonder if I can just mute her for a second. I will. I'm just going to do that for a sec. Just so, oh no, now she's gone. Okay. So when Karen first joined the Love Lounge, I would never have imagined that she would say yes to coming onto a live like this. Right, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she wouldn't. I know she wouldn't have done. No. Yeah, not a chance. Yeah.
No. And this she has. I wish she could hear me right now because I know I'd make her blush. Her growth has been exponential this year, and she's been so inspiring in the group. And the change she's experienced and the way she's just grabbed the bull by the horns and gone, I'm freaking having it. Like, I'm creating change.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. I'm doing it. She's a woman on a mission. And I love it. Makes me feel emotional right now because I remember I was the woman on the mission in the early days too. I was like, I am going to have change. I am done with feeling like this. I am done with getting those results. I'm done playing small. I want to live my bigger life. Like, I remember. And, you know, you don't get change if you don't do the work. Sarah, you are a poster girl for doing the work as well, right? You don't get change without doing the work.
No.
And even I know people will sign up to something free like LoveFest, or they sign up to the 5-day challenge, and hundreds of women sign up. How many actually show up to the lives? How many actually really do the work, like feel it and really experience it? Or do they just sort of play lip service to it and I'll just answer the questions and, oh, good, I think I've done that. Next thing. It's like change doesn't happen without proper commitment and bringing your whole self to it. Like, it's an emotional experience. We don't get change without moving our emotions, right? And I've just seen Karen do this. Sarah, I've seen you do it too. And there's other women in the Love Lounge, just to say, I'm not singling out. I couldn't get everybody on tonight. I just needed to bring Karen on today, and I hope her Wi-Fi or 4G or whatever it is stops playing up so that she can be a part of this call, because she just has stood out for me this year. She's really stood out.
So inspiring, isn't she? And she's so joyful as well. I mean, even just like watching her giggling away there, she just absolutely just fills my heart, because she's just absolutely doing everything, you know. She's incredible. Karen has just
message saying my internet has dropped. Oh, honey, try again. Don't hold back. Try get on again if you can. Take your time, maybe reboot your phone, turn it on and off, and then try join us again. It won't be too late. I really, really want to have you on. Okay, so let me speak to her joy here. So I'm just going to go change my screen here and look into the Love Lounge. And so today's post, right, it was an intention post. So today I feel ... I will honor that by ... So everybody in the group's answering these questions. And it's just beautiful to read these and be in this energy on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Karen's response was, today I feel proud of myself for all the transformations taking place in myself so far, as I know I still have work to do. Not just my appearance, but my confidence, the love I have for myself now, the fabulous energy that flows beautifully at present, and being able to heal and forgive, which I never thought I would be able to do. That makes me really emotional. I will honor that by continuing to step into my power, stay balanced, live life to the full, and continue practicing hula hooping, which I've not done since a child and was being taught yesterday.
Yeah.
And I read that and I'm like, this woman, I mean, wait, she's back. This woman, I can see you now, Karen.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So, Karen, thank you for persisting and getting on the call. Do you feel comfortable to share a little of your journey? And when I say that, I mean, how did you feel back in January when you joined the Love Lounge? And what has changed for you to find yourself in September feeling the way that you do?
Well, January, I knew that I had to change something because I felt a block in my life, and I've had obviously a lot going on in my past. I've had a really supportive friend, I hope you don't mind me saying, because she's been amazing and helped me a lot. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention her name, am I?
Yep. Yep.
I think she's on screen.
It's Rebecca.
Yeah.
It's Rebecca. She's been absolutely amazing. She's helped me through a lot too. And it was one of the challenges that came up where I was introduced to the Love Lounge, the Meet Your Soulmate. It came up in January when I did that because it was Rebecca that recommended I did that. So obviously I came onto that and ended up doing the Love Lounge from there. And I've always felt I've had a block and that I've needed to change something. It's a bit like I'm trapped and I need to set myself free. And the Love Lounge and obviously the Meet Your Soulmate challenge really helped me because it made me recognise a lot that was missing in my life. And from there I went to the Love Lounge, and the Love Lounge has been absolutely amazing. I mean, the support I've had from Katie, Sarah too, you know, the happy hours that Sarah and I are on now are quite comical, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, the coaching call with you, Katie, you know, I try and join every call I can. And, you know, throughout the time I've grown in confidence. I'm a new person. And one thing that I did a week after I joined the Love Lounge was start my slimming group again. And I've always had a trouble with my size, and I've never been happy with how I look. And I've actually now lost 5 stone. I got my award on Tuesday. So it's another thing.
5 stone.
Yeah, exactly 5 stone.
It's crazy, isn't
and
it?
the support, seriously, the support I've had from the Love Lounge, from friends, from family, from my group has been phenomenal. And without all of you, I couldn't have got where I am now. And that's also boosted my confidence and brought me where I am. And I'm shining like never before. I've said it in a lot of my posts. I'm stepping into my power and I feel like a new person. And the compliments I get, you know, people haven't seen me for so long, and then I'm getting compliments with how amazing I'm looking. You know, I've really turned my life around. And without the Love Lounge, without the essential love collection that I've purchased, and without the help from everybody, I couldn't have got where I am now. And I'm so thankful for it. And my energy is brilliant. You know, I'm literally totally changed in many ways. I've still got a bit to do, but I'm going to get there. I've got that determination and drive now. I never had that before.
You're so inspiring, honey. You really are. Tell me, which, because you know there's 2 online courses in the Self-Love Essential Collection. There's Self-Love 101 and Love Yourself Free from People Pleasing. Which one did you choose to start with?
I started with the people pleasing, and I started with module 2 because the inner child was obviously something that I really needed to change first. And I went through that module, and honestly, what came from that just on its own, the release I had, the freedom I felt from doing that, it was a lot. You know, the emotion and things like that were quite high, obviously, but the support I had from you and everyone in the group, you know, when I needed it, really helped me persevere with it. You know, you've got to put the time and the effort in to get the results, you know, and as I say, the support that I received also helped me carry on with it, you know. And then I went on to forgiveness, which obviously was another difficult subject, but I got through that. And each time that you do the module, the release that you get from doing it is immense. And I wouldn't be where I am today without all these, you know, group courses as well, you know. So it's really every part of my journey has been through doing the groups, you know, the Love Lounge, friends, families, encouragement. It's all been a massive input into making me who I am today, as well as obviously myself, you know, because I've got to put the work into myself to become who I want to be. And that's exactly what I've done. And I feel empowered. I feel my energy is balanced a lot more. You know, my masculine, feminine energy is another thing that I've been working on. My spiritual side, my intuition, everything has literally changed in my life and made me who I am today.
And it's so incredible.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional saying all this because I've never done this before, so I'm a bit teary. Yeah.
What is so wonderful, Karen, one of the things that is so wonderful that I have really enjoyed is seeing, like, I can see I feel like I know your inner child now, just from how you have got this absolute playfulness, you know, that's come out, you know, because there's so many things you've done for the first time, isn't there? So the hula hooping's one of them, isn't there? You were on a blooming fair ride, weren't you?
Yeah, the fair ride, the swing ride I haven't done since I was a child.
You were
I think I was a teenager.
Yeah. And you were on, like,
I was a teenager.
Courses and stuff, you know, there's just like, you are just free. It's so wonderful to see. It really is.
Thank you. Well, I will say it's the best value for money that it can buy. You know, there's so much involved in the Love Essential course. There's meditations, there's masterclasses, you know, there's lots of modules to go through, and it really brings everything out in you and changes you for the better. And I totally recommend anyone who's thinking about it to do it. And the support, you've got the Love Lounge, you know, there's different calls on there you can go on, and it's really inspired me. And as I said, you know, it's made me who I am today. And I thank you very much for that, for the chance to do this.
And I'm really, really receiving it, Karen. I'm receiving you completely. It's making me feel very emotional, and witnessing you reminds me of the power of this work when you do the work, and when you lean into the support as well, because that's the other thing I've really noticed in you. You really, really show up in the group. You've really lent into the support. When you need support, you've asked for it. when you've wanted to celebrate yourself, you've celebrated. You put pictures in of you, you know, like you have been an important part of the group. You've participated, and that's what is required. That participation it creates change, and you've inspired so many other people along the way. That's the thing when people say, oh, self-love, working on myself, it's you know, it's a bit selfish. Who do I think I am? It's like, no, when you work on yourself and invest in yourself, you are lighting up the world. And that has a ripple effect beyond anything you'll ever see. You know, and you're doing that. So thank you for your commitment and for showing up for yourself and doing it.
My pleasure. And thank you. And I'll tell you, so even doing a video call, I never, ever would have even done that.
I know.
You know, I didn't even have the courage for that either.
I remember the first time you got on a group coaching call, and I vividly remember the first time you bravely like spoke, and now no stopping you.
No.
So good. So good. So good.
One of the things I love as well about Karen, you know, is that, to speak about you as if you're not here for a second, Karen, but let me speak to Katie for a minute, is that you know, well, is that you're willing to be real with it as well. So as much as you share all of your celebrations and all of those things, and they are also just wonderful, like Katie said, they're so inspiring, but I love the fact that you're also real about the fact that still within that journey, even though you are in a completely different place in reality than you were at the beginning of it, you're still real and honest when you're having moments or times or part of a day, you know, that isn't like that, you know. And I know and see you posting and all the rest of it and sharing that this is how I'm feeling. I'm struggling a little bit today, or today is a little bit of a tougher day. But then you go back to all of the everything that you've learned. You go back to all those tools. You go back to Katie's meditations. You go back to, you know, the learning again. And you're like, it's almost like now you're kind of like, you don't spiral. It's now it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm feeling it a bit today, so I'm just going to do these several things that I now know work and help me. And I know that I'll be feeling better by the end of the day, you know. And sure enough, you're often then posting, I feel great now, everyone. You know, it's amazing. It's just so great. It's really incredible.
Yeah. So good. So good. Do you know what? I'm going to just I'm going to come to you in a second, Sarah. Well, actually, I'll speak to both of you on this. But I had I was going to bring my notes up. I had a question come through today on an email asking me how long. So this was a woman who specifically wants to do inner child work, who wants to heal her victim archetype, and who so she's looking at the Love Yourself Free from People Pleasing course. Like that would be the one she's thinking that's the main reason she'd be investing in the Essential Collection. And she's asked, how long approximately is the video and audio content? And
I think that's because another thing I've learned, sorry.
Go on. Oh, we've got a delay. Not sure if we've got a delay. I think we do. I'm going to carry on, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to carry on. So she wanted to know how long the video and audio content was. And the videos are 3 to 5 minutes each. They're mini little intro videos. The audio trainings. So module 1 is 2 hours. Module 2 is an hour. Module 3 is 90 minutes. And then module 4, 5, and 6 are all 2-hour long audio trainings. So they're pretty deep dive intensive trainings, but they do include Q&A. The first time I ran, well, the first few times I ran that, when I first created that course, I ran it live a few times. So you'll hear the Q&As, and actually the Q&As are an important part of the training. And then you have the modules as well. And I was just going to ask Karen, I don't know if she's going to hear me because I have a feeling we're on a massive delay here, how she found those audio trainings, because 2 hours sounds long, but it's funny how it kind of flies. What do you think, Karen? Oh, we're on the delay.
Oh
no, I was just about to answer and then it timed out. Oh, damn it. Sarah, you haven't done the Love Yourself Free from people? Oh no, you might have done module 2.
yeah, I bought it. I know I've bought it. I know, but I don't think I've actually started it. But I have done other things of yours that are similar length in time.
Well, you've done some inner child healing.
Yeah, absolutely, right? and the victim work, and actually, I would say that those 2 pieces of work specifically for me are the ones that have been the most transformational and the most enlightening for me, actually, because I actually didn't realize I had much of the victim stuff going on. I really, really didn't realize it. And yet, when you were talking through, each of the factors, I was like, tick, 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 tick. And I was like, flip, actually, it was really shocking for me. But thankfully, very quickly, you got to the point where you were like, it's actually a gift, and because I did feel quite ashamed, really, that that's where I had been living. And yeah, the whole revelation to me about that you teach about loving that part of you that is often, as you rightly describe it, the original victim. Also, it's very, very in line with our inner child, isn't it? And that whole revelational piece about showing compassion and loving that side of us, and understanding that she is helping us, and wanting us to kind of recognize things, and ultimately she's trying to keep us safe, isn't she? But how we can actually comfort and love her, that side of us, and still move through the thing that maybe she's trying to protect us from, us knowing that now actually we can use the information she's giving us, and alongside it, look at it in the here and now, and work through those things. And so, yeah, I mean, I actually love sometimes going back to the recordings of some of the things even that you've done live, that I've watched and been there live, or I've been in a coaching call. I still like to sometimes go back to the recordings of things, because you can then pause it and really sit with something, that you've said that was really powerful to us, and you can sit and work through it. And I think that's the great thing about your online courses, if you like, it is that you can literally stop and pause over stuff, and you can journal it there and then, before you then go on to the kind of, next learning point. And that, for me, particularly as my brain sometimes just needs that extra time, has been, again, just one of the extra levels of what's made such a difference to me in a practical sense, but yeah,
I must admit, when it comes to healing sabotaging relationship patterns, I think my absolute expertise and what I offer is around victim archetype, codependency, people pleasing. And it just kills a relationship, doesn't it? And
no matter what that relationship is, you know, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship with family, whether it's a relationship with a partner, it goes into everything as well within that relationship. But also, of course, arguably most importantly, our relationship with ourselves, because until we do that work, we're denying such a massive part of us and such a massive part of our life experience until that point as well, you know, and just constantly denying it, suppressing it, pushing it down, not listening to it, ignoring it, you know, and then often on top of that, we're heaping on loads of condemnation and loads of self-criticism and judgment and all of those kinds of things, which of course, you know, is a lot to carry on top of the life experiences that have often, you know, brought us to that place, if you like. And that's what, you know, we're seeing, that playfulness in Karen, if you like, and I'm experiencing it myself. You know, you and I both know with the inner work that you and I did, you know, directly one-to-one, that you know, there's this playful side of me that, yeah, I've accessed, but there's this really kind of carefree, you know, dancey, skippy kind of person, you know, that just purely wants to be free, you know. and I've always kind of had a bit of an inner battle over that. You know, I've kind of always had a part of me that's like, well, but this is me, and I should let her out. But I had a lot of people, as many women have and many people have, where somebody, and usually very often many people, you know, and that was my experience, had told me I shouldn't be like that, you know, to
be smaller.
Be small. Exactly. That's
you.
Yeah. Stop showing me up, you know, and I'm like, I don't mind being shown up. You know, that's you know, that's fun. But and the work that, you know, I've done with you has and also I've got to say also the love from the other women in the Love Lounge and the freedom that they allow me, and the absolute utter non-judgmentalness in that group, if that's a word, even if that were, you know, but
it is now.
the acceptance, that's the word. Yeah, you know, and the fact that everybody celebrates each other, everyone has each other's backs, you know, and it's an all-female environment, for me has just, I don't know, it's just been absolutely life-changing, really, and it's held me. That's the word that just keeps coming to me now is held, you know. Thanks, Ellen. So do you. Yeah, I've been held. I've been really held through some really tough times and some tough self-exploration as well, you know, and everybody's held me and had me, you know, and it's amazing. You know, people worry about the investment. And again, I know for me, you know, as you know, again, I've done a lot of money work with you as well.
Well, that's actually, and that's part of this. There is money work in the Essential Collection. Like, that's available. And I mean, you might want to speak to your transformation just in the last few months around that, by the way.
Wow. I mean, that has been a massive change. To say that I was blocked about money is an understatement. I was in an utterly dark, entombed place is how I would describe it over money. Absolutely couldn't move through fear of money, really, because of past experiences and all that kind of stuff. And then right at the key moment, I was made redundant from a job that I loved and had been in for 12 years. And that I would say
Such a gift.
Yeah. It's funny. You were trying to tell me that at the time. I really couldn't see it, Katie. But of course, you know, yeah, you know, of course it felt like the absolute last thing I wanted to happen. And even though I had been calling out to almost to be set free, in terms of I was calling out to earn more money and have more money in my life on the one hand, but and yet when this happened, when I was made redundant, it was I just couldn't have thought of anything more difficult at the time, and yet I remember one coaching call with you was all it took. I went from being like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I Mickey, I Mickey take it, but it was.
Well, you were actually in a really, really desperately
distraught.
low place.
Yeah, I was really distraught, really distraught. And by the end of that call, I felt completely differently about it. And I can remember you saying, I want to put you back in your power, Sarah, and I was thinking, oh, go on then. Let's try this, Yeah. Good luck with that kind of thing. And of course, within minutes, I was in my power. I was back believing in myself. I was back believing that actually just maybe this could be a good thing for me. And maybe, just maybe, it could be the best thing. And of course, yeah, sure enough, again, with your support, and again, actually shout out to Rebecca for that as well, because Rebecca helped me with that as well. But you helped bring me to a place where I was, if I set up my own business, and I can now see it as definitely, and gave me again the role within yours, but yeah, I feel like I am back in my power now. I know what my giftings are. I'm happy to approach people with them now as well, which I would not have done. That I was in that job for 12 years, didn't even ask for a pay rise and etc. Whereas now I'm kind of like, actually, this is my worth, and I'm going to go out there and kind of get it,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's actually what you just spoke to then, like tapping into your worth. That's what women are doing in the Love Yourself Free from People Pleasing course. It really is about taking ownership for your value.
Yeah.
And stepping out of jobs that aren't serving you, or, and
yeah.
And stepping into more purposeful work that feels more fulfilling and that's more aligned with you and allows you to shine. So it's, as much as we're talking about self-love and we're talking about relationships, let's be real. We're talking about money as well, and career, and you stepping into whatever it is you want in your life. I mean, the last module of Love Yourself Free from People Pleasing is all around desire and manifestation and choosing your life rules, and and stepping towards the life that you want to create. So a lot of the work in the Essential Collection, it's not all pain, it's not all healing. Of course, there are modules there that they're full on, and they will take you through it. They're designed to do that very gently, and you have a community support in the Love Lounge, so you're not on your own with it. But on the other side of that, there's a lot of excitement, because I'm ditching all that shit, and I'm choosing what I'm going to call in instead.
Definitely.
Like, you get really intentional about that. And the Love Lounge, while everybody does share when they're having difficult times, the vibration in there is high.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? It's not when someone's having a tough time, there's actually no victim in there.
No.
Being real, and I'm sharing because I'm available for change and growth. I'm doing it with the intention of being authentic, and I desire to move through this to the next thing. Like, the vibe is really high in there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think one of the key things, Katie, is that you ask us questions that we don't ask ourselves. And I remember you saying to me over the money piece that we were discussing, I remember you saying to me, and it's a simple question, but you said, what do you desire? Sarah? And I was like, well, I need, such and such and such and such. And I remember you stopping me and saying, no, Sarah, that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you what you need. I asked you what you desire. And it was like, wow, I guess I haven't ever thought about it, in these, contexts, if you like, in that particular area of my life. And so even it's just the way you just ask key things that have so much power to them. And one of the other things that I love as well that I've got to talk about is and I'm not going to be very good at giving an example of this, but there's times where I've been on the group coaching calls and I've seen it happen many times as well, where we know something is up. And so we come on a coaching call and we're kind of like, you're sort of saying, right, does anyone got anything to bring? And I don't know, sometimes I'll wait, and I'll only kind of speak up if no one else kind of has something else that they need to bring. So sometimes I'm kind of like, well, I don't even know really what it is that I want to talk about. But I feel like I'm kind of struggling, and then you will just ask one question at a time, just gently, lovingly, and you help us get to whatever the heck it is that, is blocking us or troubling us or, that we're stuck on. And I've seen it happen, over the years so many times, where just minutes later, either if it's me or other people, that I'm seeing in the group environment, are feeling very, very different and feel like they've suddenly had a big light, a big revelation shone in, and suddenly it's like, right, that's what it was then, thank you, and you've got to the nub of it, and we go away feeling completely different within minutes, so yeah, it is amazing, and again, anyone struggling thinking about the money, I get it, I know, as many people do, it is sometimes it's like, look, I can't quite afford it, or I can't, do I dare, because I don't know if I'm going to get any results. And let's face it, money is, it's on people's minds quite a lot at the moment and things like that. But honestly, whatever route you decide to go down, you will feel as if you should have paid millions of pounds for it, honestly, because there is genuinely no monetary value that can be put on it. Like, I can't wait. I've told Katie this already, but I told her it in June, I think it was, but I cannot wait to get to Katie's next New Year's 2023. I cannot wait. I am going to be beside myself on that call. I'm just giving you all the heads up.
Well, actually, what you're saying is, Katie, if it's not on your calendar, can you please run that call?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, you have to do it now. No, but it's just because I can't wait to go through my, phone and look at all the work that I've done, with you, ultimately, and the transformation, celebrate the transformation that has gone on in my life and in my heart and in my soul and in my being.
I just had an idea. We should do that in person this time. Wouldn't that be great? Like, let's not do it online. I'm so bored of that. Look, I reckon Helen will come in person. Look, I
might not be able to, so I'm going to sit on a laptop. So if you do it face to face, I need to be able to come in on a laptop still.
Okay. Sure thing. Yeah. I mean, thank you so much for sharing all that you've just shared, because yeah, Helen's coming. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, some pretty epic transformation happens on our group coaching calls, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it always blows me away as well. Yeah. Karen, we've got you now, by the way. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
Well, as I say, I really recommend everything because I always post my low moments as well. I don't know whether you said that because I couldn't hear half of
Yeah.
the conversation. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But, there's low and high moments, and it's better to acknowledge them than compress them, which is something I always used to do. And it's all part of healing. And the good and the bad times all come through, and then it makes you the person that you need to be and that you want to become.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, darlings, thank you both for coming on and giving a little bit of insight into my world, really, into the world of the Love Lounge and all that's on offer there, and the Essential Collection. And of course, there's other things on offer, and you're welcome, people watching, you're welcome to take a look at the website and see everything. But what we're sharing at the moment, the Self-Love Essential Collection, is being shared because I've just taken £1,000 off it. So it's not to be sniffed at. And that really is because you've bothered to register for LoveFest and you've bothered to take part. And I want you to take the next step. And so I'm making it as easy as I possibly can to have you do that. And I can't wait to see who comes on into the Love Lounge. And by the way, the first 10 women who invest in the Essential Collection, you get a private one-to-one call with me where we will spend half an hour together on Zoom, face-to-face, and I'll guide you through the Essential Collection. So you'll just let me know where you're at, what you need, and I will guide you to which course to start with, maybe which meditations to focus on, which masterclasses to watch first. I'll just give you your own self-love action plan, essentially. So you kind of know where you're beginning. And then you've got the support of the Love Lounge and the coaching calls and happy hours with Sarah and so forth to hold you safe while you're moving through that body of work in your own time at home. And to remind you, you do have lifelong access to the Essential Collection. So all of that is lifelong access. You get a month's access to the Love Lounge, but you're very welcome to stay on in there. And yeah, can't wait to see who comes join.
No.
Yeah. So I don't think we've got any questions this evening. That's okay. I feel like we've probably answered a few here today with you two joining. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Karen, for coming in.
Welcome.
Super last minute. And I also said it would be 10 minutes. And I said to you guys, come on for 10 minutes. It'll only be like a half an hour call. And we're an hour in. I mean, this is typical.
And can I just say, I was also lucky enough to get the coaching call with Katie when I did mine as well, which was honestly amazing. She helped me a lot before I even started the course, just with that call.
Well, Karen, it's not even a coaching call. That's just
No, but you still helped me because of your guidance on where to start, because obviously there's a lot involved in the course. So just from knowing where to begin and what module to start with, it really helped me begin the course and know which route to follow.
Well, I'm so glad. And that's the idea. Like, I want to speed everything up for you. And I want you to go, I know where the juice is in the course for you to go straight to it. That's why I would have said to you, do love yourself free from people pleasing. But based on what you just said to me on that call, I'm like, you'll do module 1, but just start with module 2, because you just need that right now. You need the hit of that right now, and then go back to module 1. Yeah. So that's what that call is about, is I really want to support. So Fiona has asked, how much is ongoing Love Lounge? It's a 6-month commitment, and it's £49 a month, which is pretty good value. Or you can purchase a year up front and you get 2 months free. And I think for £49 a month, what would you guys say, like, to get on one coaching call and get course corrected and moved forward once a month for £49, or even if you only get on a call once every 2 months, it's kind of worth it, right?
It is. Well, okay. So I am speechless when I don't even. I don't even know when I actually start talking about Love Lounge and how much it means to me. I'll get emotional. It is absolutely worth more than every penny of it. it is incredible what one receives for that amount of money a month. Yeah, it's incredible. And I thought I would only join, I can't remember what the deal was at the time, but I thought, oh, actually, yes, I do remember somebody I was dating at the time gifted me 3 months, I think it was, or something like that. And I had it diarized to just do that 3 months because I couldn't afford it. And I believed I couldn't afford it. But there was no heck way I was going to lose Love Lounge from my life at the end of that. And so me and him split up. but I carried on with the Love Lounge for sure, for definite. Yeah.
Helen's saying, even if you don't have anything to bring to the coaching calls, you always receive things from others who do. Yeah.
So
and
true.
I've been really feeling into this lately, because you're right, Sarah. Money is very front of mind for a lot of people. I mean, it always is.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It always is. It really is at the moment.
Yeah.
And I remember in my early days, I mean, hell, I used to invest in coaching because I didn't have the money, but I invested because I was committed to my transformation, and I was committed to paying it back,
Yeah.
and I still do. But I view, and I'm saying that just to say that I get it. Like, money is a question mark for a lot of people. And I would never condone anyone investing in something that put them massively out of their comfort zone. Like, I kind of want you to feel a bit uncomfortable, and so therefore make it worth your time. Like, you're going to actually get value for money because you're a little uncomfortable. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's not the right thing for everybody. And I get that too. And I view the Love Lounge as not a monthly subscription. You can pay it like a monthly subscription, but that is not what you're receiving. You are receiving a container, and it's very hard to put into words because it's energetic, but you are giving yourself permission to be held by this container that in its own right, just being there is transformational.
Yeah.
I know that because I've seen it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And if you I know, I really honor it, and I understand when women say, I'm not going to have time for it this month. I'm not going to get value for money out of it this month. And you know what? You're going to get busy, and there'll be some times, weeks, maybe a month here or there, that you barely participate. But you can't look at it as a monthly subscription. You have to see it as a container of 6 months or a container of 12 months of support.
Yeah.
And what is that worth? To know that literally 24/7 you can post in and ask for help. You can go on and ask me anything, post and get me to do a live by the end of the week to fast forward you and course correct you. You can get on the coaching calls, you can get on the happy hours, you come to the master classes with the monthly expert. There's so much there to course correct you and fast track your growth, and to have you feel supported. It doesn't make sense in my mind, and it just doesn't make sense to me that it's a monthly subscription. It's a container that you just have to pay monthly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is, and it's been that, as you say, it is a container, definitely, and it's a container that is there for you no matter what life experiences and circumstances you're going to go through during that period of time as well. For me, I would literally genuinely describe it as a lifeline. The support, the banter, all of it. For me, I have somewhere that I can be truly me and know that people are.
I've noticed.
Yeah. I know. But it's because it's beautiful, because we all know that we can all utterly be ourselves, whatever that is, and whatever that happens to be in that moment as well. And so for me, it has literally been a lifeline, because yes, you've got that support. You know, it's not even like support doesn't even cut the mustard with it, really.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to talk to the depth of it. It's powerful, you know, it's truly powerful and truly life-changing if you want it to be. And to know that, like you say, on, you know, twice a month, you've got somewhere that you can go, that if you are doing the extra training, you can come and say, God, I'm really struggling with this particular module. It's really affecting me, or it's really, you know, stuff's coming up for me, and knowing that you've got that. Or if you finish the training, you know, and you're in between, you know, training courses, to know that, again, if anything comes up, you've got it. But even if there isn't anything going on, even if your life is joyful at that moment in time, you know, I haven't needed to do a coaching thing for quite a while for myself, because at the moment life is good, you know, really, you know. And so, but again, like Helen said, I still take masses from what other people are bringing, you know, and it's like, again, it gets you thinking, and you're like, oh yeah, actually, is there something going on for me with that, you know? And I don't know, it's just really, really positive, flipping powerful, transformational, blinking ace stuff. I don't even know how to, I don't have the vocab.
Well, we're speaking to something that there's no words for, because it's energetic. And we feel it, and you just know it because you feel it. And if you're available to receive that, it's there for you, you know. And I hold very intentional space when I'm with my clients, and with anything I create, I'm very intentional around it. And there's an energy to that, right? And Sarah, I didn't, you know, inviting you in to be community head of happiness that wasn't on a whim, you know. And you and I had conversations. That's a very intentional move to have you be part of the Love Lounge, and the type of women that this space attracts, our intention, that energy. We've talked about that this week. We talk about it in the 5-day Meet Your Soulmate Challenge. It's where you're vibrating is what you're attracting. And the Love Lounge, the intention behind it, the love within it, it attracts certain type of women. And so you're pretty much guaranteed to find your new best mates in there, you know. And we all crave deeper friendship. We all crave more meaningful friendship. We all crave a space where we can be more who we are. And one of the reasons I created the Love Lounge right in the beginning was because I was feeling lonely. And I'm like, where's my girls? Let's create and, you know, build it, and they will come. Like, really, that was, you know, that was largely the intention behind it. It's my community too. You have no idea how much you guys inspire me. Like, I'm obviously in there every single day, and I'm reading the comments, and I'm like, I'm also avoiding transformational amnesia by having that space, you know? Anyway, darlings, we should wrap up, really. Thank you both so much.
Oh, you are welcome. It's a pleasure to talk about it.
And as for LoveFest, that's a wrap. We're done. LoveFest is complete. For those of you who are still catching up there with the playbooks, I just want to let you know I am going to keep the catch-up page open until Sunday evening, so you can easily find each of the playbooks. But by now you've probably downloaded them, and therefore you have lifetime access to them. So yay. And obviously the masterclasses, they're just here available publicly. So feel free to dip in and out and catch up on those at any time. Then I'm not going to delete them from my profile. So they will remain available. And thank you for joining. Thank you for those of you that have taken part. It's been a pleasure to be amongst you this week. And I look forward to seeing who is going to carry on with the next step and who I get on an actual call with. Yay, I can't wait to see who those first 10 women are. There's a few already, by the way, already joined. I haven't I'm not looking to see, I haven't seen what the count is at the moment. We should be nearing 10 fairly soon though, so hurry up. Anyway, good night, everybody. Oh, Jane's just joined. Hi, Jane. We're just wrapping up now. You'll catch the replay. Thanks for joining those of you that could be here live. And please, if you do have questions and you're on the replay, feel free to type them in. I will respond. Mwah. Sarah and Karen, thanks again for joining.
Well done, Katie. Thank you.
Big shout out to Helen. Thanks for being here as well, Helen. I should have got you on the call, actually. All right. Night, night, guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Ciao, ciao.